So WWDC was yesterday and we got a ton of new features announced, and we even got a whole new redesign with what they're calling liquid glass, which is across all of their softwares. So in today's video, I want to be focusing on iOS 26. So they're calling it 26, all the softwares, just so that it is more cohesive, and it is now by year. And specifically, I'm going to be focusing on all the customization that they brought to the iPhone. So that's your lock screen and your home screen, and just how everything looks. So let's get into the redesign. So here we have iOS 26 developer beta on my phone. I always say this, but this is in development, so it's very glitchy and buggy, and it's gonna drain a lot of battery life. My phone's already kind of dead in the middle of the day because of how much it drains battery life, so I don't recommend installing it at the moment. It's still in beta. It still has a lot of quirks. But here you can see the new glass UI that I mentioned, so we can clearly see it here in the dock and with some of the widgets here as well. It all has this kind of like a 3D effect to it. Obviously, some of these things might change as we get more into the betas and everything. But yeah, this right now is what it looks like. And also the control center also really emphasizes that liquid UI look that they announced. I don't really know how I feel about the control center specifically. I think it's just something to get used to, but I didn't really have any complaints with the previous UI. But yeah, it's nice that we're getting a whole new look and it just feels new. So first off, I want to go over the lock screen and everything that is new with that. So I'm gonna go to my lock screen here. This is the new time, as you can see. It looks really nice. I absolutely love that you can now have it more long and how it changes with the wallpaper. So I'm just gonna show you if I'm creating a new wallpaper here. I want to show you the iOS 26 wallpaper, which it is this one here. And this is what it looks like. So now, as you can see already, things look a bit different when we're in this lock screen setup mode. You can now adjust the size of the time. And as you can see with the iOS 26 wallpaper, it's doing that 3D effect where it's nudging the time in between the subject and the background, which I think looks really cool. And I really like that we can now adjust this. As you can see, widgets are here at the bottom for this wallpaper. So I can also still add those in here, and they're gonna be here at the bottom. But yeah, this is what the new iOS 26 wallpaper looks like. Now this elongated time only works with the one font. If I change to one of the other fonts, as you can see, that little slider thing doesn't appear anymore. So we can't scale these differently, only this first option of text. But you can adjust the width of this and also the color, and whether you wanted to have the glass effect or if you just wanted to have a solid color. So you can adjust all of that here. But yeah, I just think this looks really cool and I really like this change. So now this is what my lock screen is looking like, and also you will see these also have that more glassy look to them, these UI elements here at the bottom. So like I said, this time effect adapts to whatever wallpaper you have. So obviously if you have wallpapers with a very distinct subject and a clear background, then it's going to be able to do this effect on them. So I'm just want to show you what Apple also showcased in their keynote. When you have a photo shuffle wallpaper, it will adapt to each background in your photo shuffle. So I just chose a few wallpapers that has that distinct subject and background so that you can see how it adapts and the size and everything adapts. You can also edit this when you're setting the wallpapers up, but here you can see when I tap, it's going to change, and also the wallpaper adapts with that. So this one is nudged between that tree and the background. We have this one, and it also just scales really nicely, and the transition looks really nice. So this is what the photo shuffle looks like with wallpapers. So just to show you how I set this up, I just went to create a new lock screen. I chose photo shuffle, and I chose an album that I set up with all the wallpapers that I wanted for that. So it was this one here, and I made it to be on tap, but you can make it on lock hourly or daily. And here you can see you can tap to preview all your wallpapers, and you can also adjust the time if you want to have it look a bit different than how they set it up for you. Like for this one, for instance, I can make it longer or shorter, and I can just see what all these wallpapers will look like with the time preview. They also made it now that you can have 3D effects with your wallpapers as well. So I'm going to show you when I create a new wallpaper. I'm going to show you with this image that I have of my dog. So you will see you have, for some images, not all images will have this, it kind of detects beforehand if it can do this with an image, but you'll see this little block that looks 3D, so you can tap on that and it's saying generating spatial scene, so it's kind of generating that for you. So now you can see it has this kind of 3D look to it with the background kind of moving behind the subject. Here you can see with one of my wedding photos what that 3D effect looks like. It does kind of make your photo look a bit weird depending on obviously the photo that you're using. But yeah, I think this effect looks really cool on images. Here's another example with just like an image that it has a really nice distinct subject and background. So that is the lock screen. Now I want to take a look at the home screen and everything that's new with that. So actually customizing your home screen is fairly similar to what we're used to. You hold down until it goes into this editing mode, everything shakes, and then you will see we have our buttons that we always had. Everything just has that kind of liquid glass look on it now, which again, I like. So I'm just going to click on edit here and then you'll see this menu bar pop up, and we have a few things that are added to this. So previously it was just add widget and customize, but now from here you can also directly edit your wallpaper for your home screen and also edit the pages that you have on your phone for your home screen. You can still edit your pages by clicking down here as well, so that's still the same, but you can also now do it from this menu bar up here. But I want to focus on this section right here, which is customize. And of course, we're already familiar with this little bar here at the bottom, which has your default, your dark mode that you can switch to. And then we also now have clear, which I will be getting to, and obviously the tinted. Again, it has now more of a transparent look to it. And also the option to switch between large and small icons was always here at the top, but now it's just this little icon that you can click and that will switch between small and large icons. But of course, what we're all here for is the clear option. So I'm going to click on that so you can see what happens. So then it just kind of loads everything on your phone and everything goes clear. But this is what it did to my home screen that I have here. So here I have my custom app icon. So it doesn't work with those, which is understandable. But it does work with obviously all Apple's widgets and some third-party widgets like this one and this one here has that clear look, but they are from widget apps, not like Apple apps. On this next screen, you can get more of a clear idea of what that will look like. So this is from an app called Color Widgets, which is again a widgets app, but it did make it clear. Just to show you, this is what this screen looked like previously, and then this is what it looks like clear. I do want to show you on a different wallpaper. I just feel like this one is kind of washing everything out, so I'm going to switch to the iOS 26 wallpaper because that really makes it stand out a lot. The app icons all look really nice, especially since they are the original app icons, not any custom app icons. And yeah, the widgets and everything just look really, really cool. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Are you going to be using the clear widgets or are you more into just like the original look? I want to try this again with another wallpaper. This is just a wallpaper that I got off of Threads, but yeah, I think this also looks really nice. So I think with this, you just need to find the wallpaper pairing that works with this. Otherwise, it might look a bit washed out, and some things I think will be harder to read and see and not as legible. But this is really fun as an option. But yeah, I'm just curious how many people are actually going to use this as their default home screen setup. But that is customization on iOS 26. I'm really excited to see how this will actually roll out. Obviously, we're going to have some changes as the betas go on and some refinements, so maybe things will look even better once the official release is out. But so far, I'm really liking this, and I'm really excited to be testing out all the other new features that's coming to all the new softwares that Apple released at WWDC. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts. What's your favorite new feature that was released? I would really love to hear guys' thoughts, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!